She wore a white jacket, but at the end of the day, it wasn't white anymore. It was covered in other people's blood. We heard 2 shots going off in the distance. It didn't really sound like gunshots to me, more like fireworks. I'm Ray Corniel, and I survived the school shooting.
That's when they have like quizzes and stuff, so everyone comes on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays at what time?
Same time.
10 o'clock in the computer lab?
Yeah, in SE.
Last Valentine's Day, I was a senior at Marjory, Stoneman, Douglas. I didn't realize anything was going on until I got a text from my girlfriend saying there was 2 dead bodies next to her. I thought she was joking. We had no idea how many people were killed until the very next day. Probably the hardest thing for me was losing my wrestling coach, Mr. Hickson. We found out later on that Coach Hickson ran right towards the shooter and died trying to stop him. During our season, we spent more time with him at practices and at meets than we did with our own families. I only have 1 tattoo. It was my first one, and it was in remembrance of Coach Hickson. It really shows me the impact that wrestling had on my life. When I first started walking around the halls at FAU, I just needed to know where everything was, the exits, where I should go in case of emergency, and how to defend myself. Sometimes if I'm in a crowd, I just start looking around at other people, just thinking about how they could be a threat to me. When everyone was trying to escape from school and the shooter, I just kept telling myself that I have to get home, no matter what. And when I get there, I'll think about everything else. When I got home, I couldn't really think. I just wanted to lay in bed. I wasn't really scared to go back to school. I knew that's what the shooter really wanted. The shooting really changed a lot for me. I think that being a survivor makes me unique. A lot of people on that day passed away with a lot of things that they wanted to do. I just think that we should all live our lives to the fullest because you never know when our end can come.